What's up? I haven't streamed in a while, and I didn't send any notes out or nothing. I just started streaming. So there. So I got this box that I'm gonna open, and I know what's in it, or I think I know what's in it. But it's pretty cool, which we'll talk about in a minute when someone actually shows up. Maybe I will. Maybe I will share it out. You on Twitch? My nose is stuffy. I'm on Twitch. You can do it. Copy. All right. Let's go to Twitter. Twitter. Hopefully this thing will sign in. Because Google won't let me sign in with this laptop anymore. It says it's too old and it doesn't follow protocols. Oh, damn it. Oh, gosh darn it. I goofed up. Go. Come on. You can load. Copy. The twits. Okay, select. God, I hate trackpads. I hate these touch pads. They suck. They just suck. I'm sorry. Anyone who likes track pads sucks. Because I hate them. I want a mouse. I'd rather have the little pin. They used to have the stupid pins that you can move around like a mouse. I'd rather have that than this fucking trackpad. Never liked trackpads. Push notifications. Alright, that's all done. I'm not going to do it to Facebook. Screw it. I'm not going to waste my time. I don't know what the hell is going on. I need a new computer out here, but for now, it works. It's just slow and obnoxious. So anyway, just hanging out, doing nothing yet, but I will in a minute. I got this box, which I'll explain in a few minutes what's in it. I know what's in it. There should be a lot of something in it, and that's what's going to be cool. What was I thinking? I was thinking, but I stopped thinking. So I'm building some cutting boards because Greg's going to trade me his pallet for some cutting boards. So this one, I thought I was done, but it's a little narrow still. It's actually going to get a little bit cut off on each end still. And the top has to be, they both have to be plain, but the top has to be planed down. But I'm going to put one more layer on it, which is something we will do in a bit because I think it's ready. I glued it up this morning, which is right here. Let's get the box out of the way. We'll open the box later. It's right here. It's just a little strip that I made that's all layered. And I'm going to cut that in half, and then each side will get half of it. So I think this should be dry enough that I can manhandle it. So let's play with this, since there's nobody really here yet. This should be dry enough. I hope. Actually, I should break it with this first, because that's probably the only wet spot. Yep. Maybe I'll just let that cure up a little bit more. I mean, it's only where it was in contact with this board. Yeah, I'm gonna let it cure for another half an hour. That'll harden right up in a half an hour. But I can put these away and clean this up. I can. These are nice. We'll talk about these for a minute, since there's no one here. These are Taylor Tools quickie clamps. My old Irwins that have been around forever kind of bit the dust. I like these a lot. I got them because they were on sale. They were actually, I was just looking at super cheapos on Amazon or Home Depot or whatever. The only thing I won't do, just did my clampy purchase from Harbor Freight video on YouTube. I won't get these from Harbor Freight. I tried them. They're freaking terrible. Their squeeze clamps are the garbage. You squeeze them and they never tighten up. You can't get any real pressure on them. These were actually cheaper. They were on sale when I ordered them. I was getting some other stuff. What else did I get? Sandpaper and some other things. And they ended up being like $10 for the set of two. So I was like, you know what? It was one of those, oh, since you're ordering stuff, here's another thing you can order before you go to the cart. And they were on sale for, again, I think it was 10 or $12 for the two of them, which they're usually that much each. So I was like, what the hell? I need some. My Irwins are toast. So I ordered them, and I really like them. And the cool thing is this head is screwed on, and it's designed to go to either side. So you can actually make this an expander too. You can put this over there, and when you squeeze it, it'll separate, which is kind of cool. And I mean, they're not the beefiest thing in the world, but I like them better than the old Irwins. I got one Irwin left. I had a set of 6 or 8 of them over the years. Here's one of the old. This is the only one I got left of the original Irwins. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with these. I've had these since these came out. I mean, when they first came out with these squeeze clamps, that's when I got this set. I literally got a set. I think I got a set of 6. I got 2 6-inch, 2 1-foot, and 2 18-inch, and this is the only one I got left. It's like a 6 or an 8-inch opening. And I had gotten the whole set. But I'm guessing 20 years ago I bought this. So it didn't owe me anything. They worked. I do like these better, though. I really do like these Irwin ones better. They're really, really nice. It's something I won't get at Harbor Freight, though. The squeeze clamps suck from Harbor Freight. At least the ones I tried. I literally played with them in the store and wouldn't even leave the store with them because they were so bad. Never even bought a set from Harbor Freight, even though I just did my little Harbor Freight video and did clamps. Squeeze clamps are not one of the things I buy from them. This needs to be cleaned off. I need to get the glue off. I use this as a straighty edge thing, a flat surface. It's actually an old shelf. Of course, I left the glue on there too long. I wonder if I can get it off with the scrapery thing. Oh, it looks like it. Which is why I like this Miramini stuff. An old cabinet or something, but the panel's actually fairly flat. So I use it for a flat edge when I'm clamping stuff, and that needs to be stressed a little bit into place. But you got to keep it clean or else it won't do it. It won't keep making things flat if you don't keep the surface, flat. So I use it for the cutting boards for glue ups and flat surface to start with. Reference. Got a couple, 3 of them running around. So there's that. And that's just scrap pine. Let's clean that off. Let's put that away. Let's take the box out. Oh, jeez. Not weighted evenly. One whole person watching. Who's that? Me? Watching myself? Let's open the box. Screw it. So, a couple of weeks ago, I bought this sander. And to be honest, I really, really like this style sander. I'm liking this sander. It has 1 inch, the vacuum hose. This, believe it or not, is actually a hose for the drain to a washing machine for your clothes. This is the hose that goes down your drain. We cut off the loop back, and it fits on there perfectly. Well, semi perfectly. This is my biggest problem with this sander is this hose. It comes with a hose that squeals like a sieve, and it's because this is set back so far. Their hose has to go inside this instead of around it, and I can't get a bigger diameter hose. And the one it comes with, the minute I turn the vacuum on, it starts whistling. Well, I wrote a review on Amazon that wasn't pretty, and they responded rather quickly within 24 hours. They said, "You know what? Take your money back. Keep the sander. We'll give you your money back. Sounds like you got an issue with your sander." So I didn't take it. I said, "There's nothing wrong with the sander. All that's wrong is the vacuum hose. I'm not gonna, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not gonna stiff a company, even a cheap Chinese company, for $200, $180 for having a bad hose on. The hose is an accessory. It is kind of a pain because the design of that sander makes it difficult to find a hose to fit it. And I still want something else. That hose is actually a little too stiff, but it works. So, and it's not a Merca. I didn't pay $600 for it or a Festool. It's a freaking Amazon cheapo. Anyway, they're like, "Oh, really? You're gonna be honest? Thanks for being honest." And started going back and forth, and they were asking questions, stuff I liked about it, stuff I didn't like about it. I actually got in contact with one of the designers, engineers. He went back and forth a few times. I've talked to like 3 or 4 people. I think it's always the same email address, but you can tell it's a different person. That makes sense. Sergio, just watch my Harbor Freight video. Yeah, it's a good video. That was a spur of the moment. I literally came home from Harbor Freight and said, "You know what? I should make a video." So anyway, I went back and forth with whoever these guys are. What's the name of the current Huberly? I don't know. Hueborly. The sand. Anyway, they were like, "Well, I was like, oh, you're gonna have accessories, what else you gonna have?" And they're like, "Well, we're coming out with sandpaper. You want to try it?" I'm like, "Sure." They're like, "All right, it'll be out next week. We'll send you some. Give us some mailing address." So this afternoon, the box showed up, and they sent me a letter saying, "Hey, we're gonna send you a buttload of sandpaper." So they sent me a buttload of sandpaper. And from what I understand, there's 100 pieces in there. There's 10 each of 60, 80, 100, 120, 180, 220, 320, 400, 600, and 800 grit sandpaper that they are going to start carrying on Amazon under their own brand name. And I'm pretty sure they're just a refurber, but that's a lot of sandpaper that I got for free to try out. And they just want me to, oh, go away. Sergio, are you where you can freaking cancel that? I made you a mod, didn't I? Can you destroy that instant idiot? So, anyways, I got a buttload of sandpaper. and I didn't realize it was their purple. They have two different kinds. It came when I got the sander. It came with the brown. That's, I'm guessing, a little bit cheaper, and the purple, which is, I'm assuming, to kind of be a 3M lookalike. It looks like the fancy 3M papers, which are actually now going to a light blue. They're no longer purple. Actually, I guess some of them are and some of them aren't, but that's a nice stack of freaking sandpaper for free. You know, it's like $100 worth of sandpaper. And that's 800 grit. That's like cloth style. But anyway, so I got a buttload of sandpaper, 60 grit, for free, and they just want me to do a little video and send it to them. They did ask that if I do a video, I send it to them first, which is fine. They sent me free sandpaper. And they didn't say like, oh, you have to make a video. They're like, if you decide to make a video, can you send it to us first? I'm like, you know what? Since you asked nicely, sure. I mean, they actually sound like people that want to do right, if that makes sense. They don't just want to be a junk pile company. We'll use those later. So I'm willing to work with somebody that actually wants to, be right by the customer. But yeah, there's some 800. There's some 600. There's some more 600 and some more 600 and some more 600. And then there's some 400. A lot of sandpaper here. 320. 220. I don't think I'm going to be needing any sandpaper for a while. Now, I do think I'm going to have an issue because I put a pad saver. Of course, it doesn't quite fit under the shelf. I put a pad saver on this sander, and though it lines up with most of the holes, it doesn't line up with all the holes. And I've noticed with their own sandpaper, which is made for their machine, some of the holes it doesn't line up to are the ones the sandpaper actually lines up to. Yeah. See, it lines up with all the outer ones. I didn't hit it exact, but none of the inner ones hit, even though it's got to be a way, because it looks like it should. Nope. Just doesn't hit. I'm going to have to, what I think I'm going to do is, let's see, you got these slots here that this actually lines up to rather well. Yeah. So what I think I got to do is line this up. Actually, I'll use an old crappy one so I can cut right through it, what I've already used. Line up these old ones, the outer ones. And then I think what I'll do is, because this is a Merca backer pad saver, which works fine. I was using the Kuberchon mesh, works great. Butt load. What did I miss? What did I say that I didn't do right? Anyway, I need to cut out right here and here and here and here in this pad. Actually, I got to do it there and there and there. Not sure how I'm going to pull this off. I got to cut that backer pad, saver pad, butt pad. And I got to oil this thing again because it's already almost bone dry. Yep, got to do that too. But first, I want to find a way. I wish I had a punch. That almost looks like it's perfect for taking an old hole punch and punching it right out. I'm trying to think of how I can mark that. I wonder if a permanent marker will mark it. I bet a silver one will. Nope. Is it even ready? It is. It's not marking the Velcro-y stuff though. Can I mark this Velcro-y stuff? Sort of. What I want to do is find a way to cut it out. I don't think that's working enough. I wonder if I can just take a drill and drill it out. Take the Velcro and just wrap up around it. What else do I got that I could cut that with? Something to drill out the. I don't know if you can see it, but the holes don't line up. They do on the outer ring, they don't on the inner ring. And I've discovered with this pad saver on, which saves this pad from burning up, which are the pad savers are a necessity, and they don't sell new pads yet. That's one thing I'm going to convince them to do is sell new pads because it's a fairly hard one. They need to have a softy pad, which I'm going to have to find. And I don't really like the Velcro on softy pads because it's like too much. I would rather unscrew this and put a soft pad on it. If I could just hit it with paint. You got a jar of paint up there, silver paint. I think I'm gonna. We'll do it outside though, so you guys won't be able to see it. But that's the hammer paint. I'll do it real quick outside in the rain. It's kind of raining out, but we'll do it real quick so I can see where to cut. Then I gotta figure out how to cut. But that should work. I should be able to see the spots I need to cut out now. Yeah, I should be able to just take a utility knife and cut out a chunk. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be close enough so that the air flows through so the vacuum will pull through it. I got silver sandpaper now. And I don't want it anywhere near this cutting board. But I do want, where's that bamboo board? So I can cut on. I have a little bamboo board. This is my very, very old actual cutting board from the house that I don't use anymore because I make my own fancy ones. That was actually a nice cutting board in here today. Now I can see where I need to cut. Can you see that? I think that worked. I could probably still use that even with the paint on it. I bet that'll still sand. I only put a light coat on it. Do I have a sharp blade in here? I do. And this looks like I can just knife it out. As long as I get, reasonably close, so at least some airflow gets through there. That's all I care about. Because without these inner holes working, it doesn't vacuum so well. It still vacuums some because the outer ones were working, but This is a $10 pad I'm chopping up like it was nothing. Oh well. It's only going to make it better, right? It's made to be a waste product. That's its whole purpose, is to save this, because I can't get another one of these yet. Actually, I think I can, because everything, from the looks of everything I've seen, like red, I can get a Merker one, but a Merker one's like ridiculously expensive, way out of my price range. So I don't see it happening. But if it came down to it, I could, from what I understand, get a Merker or Festool and screw it on there. One or the other. So let's hack these out. Not doing a very pretty job about it. But again, doesn't need to be. Because it's just a pad saver. Its whole purpose is to save this. So I don't have to unscrew it, buy a new one. And one last hole to cut out. I think this is actually going to work. Good enough, anyways. Hackery dackery do. I have another one. This is that's why I don't mind doing this. I actually have another pad saver. It comes in a pack of 2. This is why I didn't care about hacking this one up. If it worse comes to worse, I have another one ready. But this is something I'm going to ask them to put in their accessory bin, because everyone should have a pad saver. It's just something you should have if you use one of these type of sanders, because it, well, saves your pad. So let's line this up very carefully with that. And then if I take this and put it on there, all those holes should line up. And they pretty much do. Now all the holes line up. I don't think I'm going to leave that on there because it's all covered in paint. And it smells like spray paint. It's stinky. I don't think I'm going to throw it out. I think it looks kind of cool. Silvery freaking sandpaper. Put it down there where I can disturb it. All right. That's done. I think that'll make that a little better. May actually open it up even more in a few spots. Like right there. I wish I had something that you could, don't want to take the knife to it because it's going to dig into the other pad that you're trying to save with the pad saver. All right, let's get back to this thing. This is, I don't know, a couple 3 hours, I think. So it should be secure. It's not cured, but it should be secure where I can cut it up. I have soft glue in all my blades. My brandy new Harbor Freight clamps work just peachy. I almost have enough clamps. Psych. No such thing. There's absolutely no such thing as enough clamps. I need a whole wall of just clamps. And then I still won't have enough. Because I'm hoping to be doing some somewhat mass production y type stuff. But I don't see it happen anytime soon. So anyway, here's this awesome looking board. It's glued together of local maple. This is very local. This was cut down in East Lawn. Then you can't really see it. There's a very thin layer of now I can't think of the name of it. Wingay, very black, and then Paduke, and then walnut. So I got to clean this all up, get as much of the glue off as I can. That's still soft, so it doesn't get into my painter and joiner knives and saw blades and such. Because they'll take off glue, but the wet glue kind of coats them and makes them yucky. We don't like the wet glue. It's totally wet right here. It's funny, it dries faster on the inside than it does on the outside, if that makes sense. Because the wood absorbs it. And all the bubbled up stuff is what doesn't get absorbed. It takes longer to dry. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's turn it to the jointer. Okay. Let's run it through the jointer. Can you see me over on the jointer? Over there? Put that over there. Need the vacuum. Need the vacuum. Let's jointer it. I don't think I got the power on yet. I don't. Now I do. How much room do I got in my dust collector bucket? Plenty. Let's clean up the edge. How straight is that? It's actually pretty straight. Taking off very little bites. Because I don't want to take off these bites. That's nice. That side looks flat earth, so let's go with that side. But it ain't flat, as you can tell. And almost a full drag. There's a full drag. Cut the whole thing. Wait, like that. local maple. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, look at that. That's going to be the edge of the cutting board. So now what I'm going to do is cut it right down the middle, or close to the middle. So I have one for each side of the cutting board, and then glue it on there. And I don't even need to clean that up because it can be on the outside. I just got to make sure I take the smallest dimension of this and get an even amount. That looks like it came out sweet. And it's fairly straight. It's not perfectly straight, but not anyone's ever going to notice. Got a slight bow to it. Doesn't, I mean, the face doesn't, the actual glue up does, but they were all kind of screwed up pieces anyways that I clamped together and glued. So there's that. I might have to give this one more pass because I see a saw blade mark there. I'm gonna just cut it all out. Here. Here it leaves it. It is. It is really pretty. Maple, wingay, Paduke, walnut. That is wicked nice. That's going to be a nice chunk to be on the edge. Where's my tape measure? So we have 30 millimeters, almost exactly. And that's, let's find this to this part. It's actually like 29 and a half. So if I do 15 at the bandsaw, and I'm going to actually do it with the bandsaw. Ooh, should I though? Because then I don't have a glue edge. I know it's going to chatter if I do it on this. I can almost get a cleaner cut on the bandsaw. If I do it on the bandsaw and lean it a little bit toward my clean edge, I could always clean it up again on the jointer. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So, let's tension this puppy up. Let's get this big fence off. Put the smaller fence on that I made because this is actually a normal size fence. They only give you that big ass fence, and I don't need the big ass fence. And let's drop this thing down to where it needs to be. Right around there. It's tensioned. Give it a spin by hand to center the bit. Let some get all this stuff out of the way. Bring the vacuum over to there. Even though it doesn't catch it all, it catches a good percentage of it. And everything it catches is that much less I'm breathing in and sweeping up and all that good crap as I blow it off into the air. All right. That is 0 right there. So if I go 10 millimeters, let me recalculate this in my brain. I have to take off for the blade too. I got just shy of 30. So if I do like 13, actually I'm going to do 14. If I have to, I can cut it down. I might as well bring you guys over since I have this camera to see what the hell I'm doing, huh? and then you can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Is that like on the saw? Sort of. This thing's got too big a D-dent on the angles. Well, you know what I can do? I can just lower it. That'll get you better on the saw. There we go. So this is the face I jointed. This is the face I jointed. So one's down, one's against the fence. And that looks too big. That looks too big. I think I want to take less. Where be my pencil? Yeah, it's too close to the middle as it is. Yeah, it's around 15. Yeah, it looks a little better. I want to go even a little bit smaller. Bring it right to 12 on the scale here, even though I know that isn't actually 12 at the blade. And it's going to get noisy. Yeah, look at that. That's right off the bandsaw. I can almost use that as a glue surface. This thing cuts so beautifully. It really, really does. And it's not just the bandsaw. I mean, don't get me wrong, the bandsaw is nice, but that blade, that's one of the Highland blades. Wood slicer, and it's a resaw blade. It's, well, kind of what I'm doing is resawing, but it's not a finish. It's not supposed to be a finished cut. It's supposed to be a hack it down cut. So one of these is just slightly thicker than the other, which is this one, which it needs to now go through the jointer to smooth up a glue edge. So I can glue it right to it. And I'm going to do this edge right here. That is a glue ready face. Right there, baby. All right. That's already been prepped. Let's bring my gluing board back over. Let's bring this over. There you can see this has already been faced. It's freaking gorgeous. The bottom's fairly smooth. It's not perfect, but it's close. Now I have to decide if I want to go. It's hard to tell which side I jointed and which side is the saw. I literally got to run my hand over it to see. Do I want to go with the maple up or the walnut up? Or one of each? Reverse it. Nah, no reversing. Let's go with the maple up. This is actually going to be the top. I haven't planed the top yet. I've learned with this I don't bother planing the top till I'm all done gluing up, because I found the board I end up thinning the board out too much, and it doesn't really matter as long as the bottom's reasonably flat, so I can keep gluing it up. I'm good. So I think that's it. Now this is going to be this is for Greg, for Greg's wife, really, I guess. This is going to be the bottom. That'll be all right. I think that'll be just peachy fine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that a lot, actually. Let's glue it up and clamp it up and do it all up, because it's got to get done up. And I got my scrappy board that I screwed up for glue. This is a really good idea. I just have this sitting here. I don't know if I don't think I have any of that stuff. You have to use OSB, and I can't OBS, and I can't run OBS on this, Sergio. The computer's too old. It would just bog down even worse than it is. I've actually been looking at buying a new old Mac. They're selling the 2018, 2019 Mac Minis at like a third the price of the original. They're like $500, and they're all upgradable, and they're 8-core i7 3.6 gigahertz. Now at that, I think it's $599 or $699. It's a full computer. The only thing it's slacking really is it's only got 8 gigabytes of RAM. But those old original i7s are upgradable RAM still. So I can just add more RAM to it, which would be a little bit more money, but I think that would be a pretty honking computer for out here for the money. It won't be an M1 or an M2 that I have now. I have the M1 upstairs in my room, but it will be very close. And it'll be a lot better than this, 12, 13-year-old laptop. Oh, and it's got 1.5 gig of, that's the one thing I was really looking at them. It's got 1.5 gig of video RAM on those, which would be really nice. I just don't think I can afford that right now. It's a little out of my price range. Enough glue? Nope. Goes farther. Alrighty then. Clamp that all up. And we're good to go. In my video, I said I only had one of these Harbor Freight ones. I actually had like 2 or 3. They were hiding over here. I didn't know it, but I had my brother had bought them for me one time. I forgot about it. They were clamping something at the time, which I forgot I had over here clamped away. But I bought more because I'll use them. I will use them. That is for sure. The 1 foot and the 6 inch is my number one use here, doing this kind of work. Let's ooze out some glue. Well, it's going to ooze out when I start clamping, but the more I get up now, the less I got to get up later. Right. And tighten that puppy up. Come on, glue. Want to see gooey. Ooey gooey, rich and chewy. Here's a not Harbor Freight one. I don't even know what this is. I think this is actually a Husky or something from Home Depot from way back when Home Depot first opened here, what, 20 years ago, 25 years ago? I think they opened their doors here. Crank them down, baby. Normally I would alternate, put some on the other side, but with this just thin layer, I don't really need to, but I will tap that down with my llama mallet. That actually looks flat. So does that. It's all flat. Guess I don't have to tap it down because it's already flat. On the bottom. I got glue on my new clamp. Oh well, it's kind of its point. Just get all gooey. Ooey gooey, rich and chewy. Come on. Ooey gooey, rich and chewy inside. Oh, one more. Just because I have it. So I might as well use it. Right. Get as much of the glue up as I can. Flip it over. Get as much of the glue I can off the other side. Ooh, that's not flat. That's this. Everything else is, though. Flat there and there. Yeah, it'll work. I should still end up way over an inch. This is like 1 3/8 inches. I think I'm going to have to take about 1/4 inch off between the top and the bottom, maybe a little more. I should end up about 7/8 to an inch. But there you go. That's going to be his cutting board. One of. He's actually getting two. Which the other one is right here. I just started gluing this one up because he liked the Tetrasy ones and his wife liked the stripy ones. And he laughed when I sent him the first picture of that one being. He's like, "You're gluing it up? I thought you already had them made." Nothing wrong with a 2015 Mac. Problem is, this is a 2009 Mac. I'd take a 2015 Mac. No, but they have the That'd be all right. That's how the last one I had before I got the M1 actually came from Brian Vines. He was laughing at me. I was using my 2007 or 2008 iMac. It was like one of the very first iMacs. I can't remember how old it is. And he was laughing at me trying to do the same thing with this live stream. He's like, dude, I've got like three of them in my closet. You want a newer one? It's not new, but it's newer. I'm like, sure. So he sent it to me, and I ended up putting a better hard drive in it, more memory. It was a basic stripped unit that he was using, I guess, at his legal office because he works for a legal firm. He's a computer geek for a legal firm, from what I understand. I don't know exactly, but that's the impression I get. So he had a bunch of them in the closet in his office, and he just pulled one out and sent it to me, which my neighbor has now, or else I'd be using it out here. Because her computer crapped out, and when my brothers got me the M1, I gave it to her. I should have kept it. It's a Mac Pro, I think. You got a Mac Pro, like the little garbage can? 2015 would be a garbage can Mac. I'd take one of those. Little black garbage can, about that big. They used to call them the garbage cans because they really weren't that great for what they costed. I don't have a problem with them because it's still better than anything I want, but for what they were in the times, they weren't that great. All right, let's take this one apart because it should be pretty much dry. Come on. Gotta get my thing dangles here. Oh, my handles. Some of these I got the handles too close together. I can't get my hand on the handles. First glue up. This is just going to be colored stripes. I'm just trying to use up pieces, so normally I would just glue it all together, but I have to do these end clamps because I'm seaming it even though I'm doing the same color because I'm trying to use up material just to use it up. And I kind of like it. It gives it a little more patterny look. Just think it looks better with some seams in it and some variety. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I do. And I'm the one making it, so I'm the only one that matters. Well, I guess Greg's wife matters because she's the one going to be using it. But bids 70s here in South Ohio. With that at the end of February. Yeah, we've been like stupid warm until this week. We are going to be Sergio. What's your weather like? It's a Mac something. Oh, it's a laptop. That's fine. You got to be. You're actually getting cold now too. We've been this whole winter. We've been excessively warm, like ridiculously warm, like record-breaking warm. What, 2 weeks ago, we had 3 days of record-breaking cold. It literally went from record-breaking to warm to record-breaking cold to record-breaking warm again. We're in the kind of not record-breaking, but it's still warmer than it should be right now. And tomorrow it's supposed to start snowing. But it's actually supposed to be, it's going to be cold. Everyone's going to bitch it's cold around here, including me. But it's actually will still be above normal temperatures. All right, I need to plane one of these two sides down and cut the ends off because this is just the start. So I have to square everything up to start gluing other pieces to it. This is going to be pretty too. It's going to be about that big. It's going to be a mid-sized, smaller mid-sized cutting board. And it's just going to be colored stripes because that's what she wants. So I have to decide which side I want to make the top and the bottom. I actually clean up right now the bottom. And I think that bird's eye maple. That is gorgeous. That's part of that local maple I just talking about in the other one. That was harvested right here. That is pretty. When you hit it with the finish, that just like gets all shiny and awesome. It's gonna be pretty. I don't care. This thing stays. This doesn't charge. If I unplug this, it dies. It lasts for about 10 minutes. The battery in this thing's toast. I keep it plugged in. That would actually be good because I would still keep this and just run the CNC because I brought this out here to use on the CNC, not to stream. But it would be nice to be able to stream while the CNC is running, like stream the CNC running, which I can't do right now because this is my streaming unit and my CNC unit. But anyway, let's joint this down. Let's try to decide which side I want to do. I want to do this side. No, this side is the same side. That's the new side. Here you get more off. Pretty good. I'm going to decide which one of these two I want to shave down. And I think I want to do the walnut because it's the narrowest. Actually, no, let's do the maple because then I can do the walnut on the table saw and only take the minimal amount. Sounds like a plan. Good work, Ashley. But it sounded like it's pulled all the way through. You saw one more. One more. There is that. Now I've got a flat face here and a flat edge here, so I can run it on the table saw and square up this edge. And I'm not going to bother doing the top again because the minute I start doing that and I add layers and I keep doing it, I end up making it too thin. And this is already getting thinner, and I like them fatter than this. I may double skin this thing in the long run. But let's move her over to the table saw. I need to either clean the blade or get a new blade. The table saw is starting to burn. Can you actually see the table saw? Can't really see on that little screen. Yeah, you can sort of see it. I just barely want to nick this. That's almost perfect. Don't even have to move it. Let's do some cutting. Use that up. There's a spot right here. I gotta take a little more. There's a little, I don't know if you can see it right here. Didn't cut. There's a little, it's angled. So if I went to glue it, it would seam it. I'd end up with a big thick seam. Let's take a half a blade off and see if that's enough. I'm trying to keep as much of it as I can. That did it. That's a nice clean cut. So I got 3 faces now, all square, and I can start gluing more crap to it. I do think I'm going to snip off these. overhangs though. Even if I don't snip them off perfect, I might as well start with something somewhat square on this thing. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to glue onto it next. Yeah, got to fix that. There you go. There's this cutting board. All done. It's going to be a little one. I don't think so. I think we're going to have to be a little bit bigger than that. Maybe just a little bit. This is a battery, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm dragging around with the phone for a camera, it's my battery for the camera. It's my battery for the phone, so I can use the phone as a camera. I'll keep the iPad on. Sure. I gotta get like a big screen so I can see chat. What's Vince up to? 73 high, 28 low. Yeah, it's like low 40s out today. It's actually getting colder through the day instead of warming up. It started out at almost 50 this morning, and it's supposed to get colder throughout the day, and it is. And the wind's picking up. It's supposed to actually be miserable the next couple of days. That scene came out really good. That scene came out really good, and that scene came out really good. That bird's eye is going to look awesome. That is really going to look awesome. I need to clean this off. Need to clean the glue off so I can add more glue. Because you don't want the old glue. Mix it with the new glue. Now I got to figure out what I'm going to put on there next. I might need a new scrap board. This one's all full of glue already. Yeah, we'll definitely do it because it saves the countertop from getting glue all over it. By having this chunk, which was supposed to be a coaster, and the router bit into it a little too much and screwed up the edge of it. So that's flat. It like vacuums down. I literally can feel like a vacuum when I got to pick it up. So that's definitely flat and smooth. Unless it's the perfect arc that matches this, which is totally possible. Anything is possible. I do have one little bug hole showing, but it's on the bottom. The only problem with the local, it has a few little bug holes in it. But then so does the walnut. I had to fill them all with resin. All right, what am I going to put on here next? What should I put on here next? What do you think? I'm thinking I should put on some more walnut since I got a small boatload of it. Make these two the center line. It's just toner. That's not. If I can pad it up, it's like that. And then it is tall enough. Then I can mate that to that. But it really should be almost as thick as that. This freaking local maple is gorgeous. Look at that. That is just, I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but that is just freaking awesome looking. You hit that with a finish. Oh my God. Too bad it's all bent and bowed. Oh well. Let's see if I put that on there like that. Maybe seam over it like that. With that and that. I got to be darn close to the thickness of that. So the brown will be the same thickness, even though there's seams in it. The black walnut. What do I end up for a thickness? End up with just over 20 millimeters. And that's just exactly 20 millimeters. So by the time I glue it all up and plane it out, that would work. Oh, and this is seamed. That's a glue together already. And that's rough. That's not. Do I have another piece this thick? Of course, it's got the frickin' bug in it. None of this stuff's thick enough, right? Ooh, that is. That's almost the same thickness as that. It's actually thicker, I think. That might be the bomb. That's the perfect height. A little bit fatter. And if I do just that one, I don't know, can you guys even see what I'm doing here? Not really, huh? Ah! There goes my battery. Just dragged it onto the floor. Come on. This thing's got really heavy D-dents. So if I glue this together like so, right around there, because the seam's here and the seam's here, it seems here, so I actually want to go this way. So what I should do is use this longer one. Go about there, go about there. Glue that together there. And these are my two centers. These are next to it, and then I can build out from there. And I can just start using the same material on both sides after that point. So I think, and the joints are all pretty good. I think I'm just going to glue those on there right like that and be done with it. I think that's what I'm going to do right now. Just jam those two together right there. Their joint is really nice. It looks good. Looks good from the bottom. Yep. It's like all the same. This thing's almost perfectly square. That's actually the best green match. Although that's not bad either. Yeah, that would kind of stay that way. It's not cut square. It's cut, but it's not cut square. All right. I kind of like that, even though it's not actually the best grain match. They're both coming together right at the joint. And although it pronounces the joint, not getting a good seam though. I guess that's where it's going to go because that's giving me the best seams. All right, let's glue it up. Glue it up and clamp it up. I'm going to have to use more big clamps because I used all the little clamps. already. Where are all those? Oh, they're in the seat. What am I doing? I just took them off of this thing. I thought I just used them. I just took them off of here. Beep, 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 beep. Is there any bad spots or anything? Nope. I like that. I like that a lot. So let's glue it up. Why not, right? Actually, I think I'll just put the glue on this because I don't have to worry about it going too far. Glue's already drying up on the glue brush. Hit that joint. Hit that joint. Because they're ingrained and you want both of them. Line up that joint where I want it and clamp it to it. And I think that'll be good. Except for I really want this up, don't I? Yep, I do. This way with it. Because it's taller this way. It was too short the other way. That'll work. Just got glue all over the top, but that's alright. Put a little bit of clamp in here and a little bit of clamp in there. Should I rotate this thing too? I'm a little lower here. Is it taller this way? It is. It is a little bit taller, so it's going that way. Even though I don't like the grain match as well. And a little bit of clamp in there, but not a lot yet, because I need to end clamp it first. Ruh-roh. I'm going to have to cut it. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt now that I got glue all over it. Right around there. Vacuum's on it, at least. Put the dry side right there. Get glue all over everything. Which side do I want up? That one or that one? This one. Put some more glue on there. Because it's already drying up. Yeah, that's better. Let's put a little more on here. Re-glue. Yep, that'll work. Let's try that all again. Little clamp in here. Little clamp in here. Split it apart, but I'm going to pull it back together right now. And that's going to tighten that there joint up. As long as it didn't lift, I'm good to go. All I gotta do is clamp the crap out of it now. Tighten this one up. I hate this clamp. The little wobbly part of it doesn't work. It doesn't wobble like it's supposed to wobble because it's not a good wobbly part. Actually, I'm going to re-clamp this right out at the end. Make sure it's flat. Wipe up some of the pre-squeeze off. Because I can. Add more clamps. Clampity, clampity, clamping. And all my little clamps. I'm going to get this joint clamped. That should be about enough, actually. I'm going to have to reverse that one. Because I can't get my hand in there. And that's that. And that's all clamped. And I got another inch on there, which isn't a lot, but after that I can start doing both sides at the same time. Now that I got the center core all somewhat the way I want it. This is an unusual way to build it. I'm doing this because I'm trying to use up scraps and get seams in the middle that look decent. So that's the only reason why I'm having to do it this way. Otherwise I could just cut the whole thing and glue it together in one shot. But I kind of like this look better when it, even when it's striped, there's seams in it with varieties. I just like variety. I know a lot of people like them perfectly straight and clean and all the pinstripes exactly the same and all that crap, but I'm making it, so no. It's not going to be perfectly clean and straight. It's going to be whatever the hell I want to do. Right? This actually belongs over here. That's the 18 inchers. And there's one more chunk of Greg's. This is actually going to be Greg's. Greg wanted the Tetra C looking, and his wife liked the pinstripe better. So I'm going to make him one of both. And probably some scrap like coasters and stuff too, because I can. And it gives me something to do with some of this spare wood. That is going to look sweet. That board, the first one I glued together, is going to look awesome. Awesome. Come on, click. Ugh. That thing's kind of a pain in the butt. So on that note, what time is it? 4 o'clock. I hope I can cook dinner. I took chicken legs out. But I did it really late. Jerry! I didn't see you come in. How's life, Jerry? How is life? What else do I got to do? Oh. Zolani's thing. He wants, I'm going to make Zolan end caps for his rep box, because he's not going to build the rep box till I send him to him. What's up, Bionic? Bionic, whichever one you want to be. However you want me to pronounce it. I didn't even see you come in. I don't watch chat enough. I need a big screen hanging on the wall with chat up there somehow or another. I need a faster computer so it can run like OBS instead of just running StreamYards, because I can't see a lot of I can't do any of the games. I can't do any of the fun stuff that Twitch does without being able to run OBS or Stream Elements. Supposedly I can run this through Stream Elements online, which is just OBS on a server somewhere else, and then go into StreamYards. But I think that's just bouncing too many signals throughout the internet. as far as I'm concerned. I got a lot of sawdust on the floor. My vacuum works, but it's far from perfect, especially on that table saw. It doesn't really work on the table saw. It doesn't pick up. It probably picks up about half of what that table saw spits out. That table saw doesn't have the best dust collection. Oh, I need to oil this thing too. Let's go over here and do some oiling. Look at this pretty baby. Ain't that pretty? Come on. Jesus. This thing's way too freaking snappy. I think that's in there. I can't really see on that little screen, but it looks like it. This puppy needs another coat of oil because it's not even showing oil. It's got too much sawdust in it already. New paper towel. Really need to get some really nice cotton rags, but paper towel works. It's not hurting it in the oil stage. Add some oil. Rub it in, rub it in, rub it in. Make it all pretty and oily. Why is my headset popping? It must be running out of batteries. Battery must be running low on my headset. Because I'm hearing the snap, crackle, pop. If I'm only that far away, I can usually like go all the way into the house before it starts doing that. I don't think I have the other set out here. Might. This thing came out really good. I was a little scared because I had problems cutting this hole. It was actually like a half an inch smaller originally. I had to open it up and make it bigger because the jigsaw wandered and then the walnut cracked. They had to force some freaking crazy glue into the seam and then recut it so I knew it wouldn't crack again. And I think I cut beyond the crack anyway, so it wouldn't have cracked anyways, but just had to make sure. So I crazy glued the crack back together to make sure it wouldn't continue cracking when I cut it back. Yeah, this thing, I don't know if you can see that, but it's all like swoopy here so you can get your hand into the handle. It's really thin right here. Came out really nice. I like it. I'm always questioning them as I'm like cutting them and gluing them and shaping them and everything. Then you add the oil and you're like, oh, that worked out perfect. The oil does it every time. And the oil's now beating up, so I guess we're oiled. It was bone ass dry earlier. It's actually beating up on it. I guess it's done absorbing for now. It'll be bone ass dry in another hour, I can guarantee it. Oh, something cracked out right here on the maple. God damn it. And I can't fix that now. There's too much oil in the hole. Got oil in the hole. Oh well. How did I not catch that? There's a big gouge out of it. It's almost like a sliver broke off right at the end of sanding and I didn't see it. Oh well. Half the fun. That's pretty. It's very, very pretty. Alright, that's done. That was a quick oiling. Come on. I'm going to grind those D-dents off. I'm going to take that towel and grind them right off. Because I don't like them. How many freaking names do you have, anyways? You got this Bionic or Bionic. You got um, FPV. You got like you're more than me. I have a couple. You got like 4 names on here, don't you? Or not just here, but on social media in general. Clean off the glue. That's why I like using the cheap old Millamine like this, because it cleans off easy, and if I ever gouge it, it's just cheap Millamine. I'll just get another piece of cheap Millamine. This is an old, I don't know, cabinet or shelf that I cut up. And glue stuff on it. So I have a reasonably flat surface to glue on and clamp to. Sometimes I clamp right to it. Use it for a flat edge. Most of the time I just set it on there though. Make sure it's smooth on the bottom. I made plywood jigs, but come to find out the plywood was warping. So I wasn't getting flat joints. So I stopped using the plywood jigs. Llama mallet. See, it's got a llama logo on it. It's a llama mallet. Came out pretty good. I use it. It's an actual usable one. Sergio's got one. Ooh, it cracked. That's new. Well, it's cracked all the way through. It's all right. It's got the front and the back because I changed grain dimensions. I know that. It's got a crack, but it's not cracked here because this is glued to it. That's probably why it cracked. Because it's expanding and contracting one way, and this is expanding and contracting the other way, and one of them had to give. It's all right. I can always fix it. I know how. Oh, I thought you were Marcel. Crap. I thought you were the same person. See, that tells you where I am. Yeah, I knew you were non-fan, but I thought all three. Oh, I know. Okay, now I know who you are. It was. I kept thinking you were all the same person, and I know you're not. Now that I think about it, I know who you are. You're the younger version. Anyway, tells you where I am. Non-fan. Bionic. I knew you were somebody else. You had me all confused when you guys all changed in 8 different names. And you both being French Canadian, because you're French Canadian too, right? Or are you strictly French like um Ian? Ian comes on here once in a while. He's French. He's from France. I think. Is he French or is he Italian? I can't remember. I'm terrible at all that. I can't remember what I am half the time. Anyway, on that note, what do I got to do next? I was going to do Zolan, but I don't think I'm going to do that right now because I'm looking at the oak and I can't decide what I want to make it out of. I'm probably going to make it out of oak, but I don't know what piece of oak because a lot of it's already spoken for. That's the problem. I have more next door, but I'd have to bring it in here and let it dry, warm up and dry out. Not that it's not dry over there; it's still inside. It's just not heated. This is heated somewhat. Could do with that in mahogany. Although the colors don't show on the mahogany. Uh oh. I lost the cameras. They're still working over here. I lost the iPhone. Why did I lose the iPhone? Is it back? Nope. What happened? Why did I lose the iPhone? I can't read it without my glasses because it's so tiny. Is it back? Did it come back? It's sort of back. It's being puckery. Oh, lost the audio too. All right. I'm just going to hit leave. We don't need the iPhone. Disconnected the audio is what happened. That's why it just started doing the whoop whoop whoop. Now we're down to one camera. Was the battery? The battery over there says 69% though, so it shouldn't have lost power. I don't know. Disconnected somehow. That's life. I think I'm gonna kill it anyways. Let's see who else is on Twitch. Live on Twitch. There's only a couple three here now anyways, right? Oh, I'm losing my internet. That's the problem. Are you guys, am I getting all jumpy over there? It's like raining out, and it's kind of a cold sleet, so my internet's not great out here when it gets all crappy outside. Because it's an old ass cable coming out here that I put in the ground long before I ever used it. Well, come on, I don't need ads on my own stream. Oh, it's gonna make me screw that. I was gonna raid somebody, but I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, everything's going. Alright, I'm gonna kill it. Y'all have a good day. We got everything I needed to get done. The only I didn't do that I want to do, which I might do tonight, is Zolan's end panels for his. I'm gonna glue up some oak for that. Or mahogany. I might use mahogany. Then I can just cut a little over a foot off and splice it right in half. And that'll give me my two because the mahogany is 1.5 inches thick, 1.25 inches. I only need 3/8 of an inch for the panels. So 1.25 inches would be perfect. Make 2 panels out of it. It's almost big enough. I think I can make it as because it's solid, clear solid. I think it's 11 or 12 inches thick. I don't know. Anyway, y'all have a great day. See you. Bye.